Okay, you've definitely had long enough. Let's go ahead and get going. I'm sorry for those two at the end. Oh, okay. I'll give you one more minute before I say words. One more minute. The notes for today?
The workshop.
Did I not just copy that again? I didn't actually physically hand it to him. I copied it. I knew there was something wrong. Okay, zero.
No, you just multiply by 8. It doubles it. It's not. It would be 6 over 8. So that you take 6 over 8. One extra plus extra. 3 over 4. While you're doing it, flip it and
Okay, you've had long enough. I gave you 2. Should already have answers now. Let's go ahead and get going. I have the first page of your quiz graded. Should have the back page done before you leave the room, so we should know that grade. So far, it's been so good. So guess what? You actually can solve equations. Woohoo! No. Yeah, throw them away. I'm going to start taking them away. Today we're going to do inequalities, which is basically the same thing, but we're going to change it instead of an equal to sign. It's going to be less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So just so you know what's coming up. As for the spelling reader, so our first equation is not in standard form. Yes, table 2.
4x plus 3y equals 7.
Perfect. So if you add 3y to both sides, you get 4x plus 3y equals 7. To actually get your point, can you tell me what's A, what's B, and what's C?
Oh, I got you. A is 4.
What is B?
3.
And what's C?
7.
Perfect. And you can have a point for that. Okay, now let's move on to number 15. Do I have any volunteers? Yes, table 6.
6y plus 8x.
Now he is smart, and let's explain what he did that makes him. We'll come back to Hunter in just a second. I make things complicated. I subtracted 8x from both sides. I had negative 8x minus 6y plus 7 equals 0. Then I made life complicated, and I moved the 7 over. And then, if you recall, yesterday we discussed, I warned you that with these equations in standard form, there is a rule that a can't be negative, and it can't be a fraction either. So I would end up multiplying by negative 1, and I would get 8 plus 6y equals 7. 8x plus 6y equals 7. Now, what Hunter did was make life way, way, way easier. That is me being ridiculous. I am being a blonde. And I'm running out of room, so I'm going to write it down here. So our original problem was negative 6x plus 7 equals 8x. Hunter realizes, hey, I'm not on the screen. Hunter realizes, hey, if I get the x and y on the right side, so I add 6y to both sides, Doesn't that read the same as 8x plus 6y equals 7? Does it matter? As long as x and y are on one side and numbers on the other, does it matter that they're on the right side? No. So he made life so much easier. He did it in one step, whereas it took me 3. And he'll get his point if he can tell me A, B, and C.
8.
Okay.
6.
Okay. Okay, perfect. And he can have a point. Okay, now we get to number 16. And first of all, I think, because it was typed wrong, you think, well, darn, I didn't download it as a Word document. Sometimes Google Docs and Word Docs, they just don't jive, especially with fractions. So the correct problem is on the screen. Some of us realize that. Surely someone in the room has the answer. Yes, table 5.
X plus 2y equals 20.
Okay, what did you do first? Tell me what your first step was. That's the correct answer. Just, I want to do the way you did. What was your first step?
I added.
1/2 x?
Yeah.
Okay, if we move that 1/2 x over, we would have 1/2 x plus y equals 10. And then you say, oh no, can't have a fraction. Let's multiply everybody by 2. When we distribute to everybody, we end up with x plus 2y equals 20, which is correct. However, we don't have to be Craig's twin. You could have multiplied by 2 on the very first step, killed off all the fractions to begin with, and made your life easy. Doesn't matter. Okay, what's A, B, and C to get your point?
A is 1.
Okay, B is, and C is. Perfect, and you can have a point. I'm not purposely skipping you, Lloyd. I was just trying to let others get points, but you got them all. Okay, number 17. Any volunteers for that one? It's got a lot of fractions, so it could be worth multiple points.
Try it.
Okay, let's do this.
Alright, let's see if I got the right answer first. Before
Okay.
I go into how I did this. 5x minus 6y equals negative 73. What is that like to put it wrong?
Hold. Say it again.
5x minus 6y equals negative 72.
That is the correct answer. You want to tell me how you got it?
I took that and just multiplied by 8.
And that is the best first step we could do. So if you were trying to, and there was a question like this on your quiz, it was on the front page, on the bottom left, had fractions, you either left it blank, you cried about it, there was only like 2 in the room who got it right. Most of us just cried about it. God forbid we put 2 fractions in the same problem. The easiest thing to do is multiply by some number that's going to end up killing off all the fractions. We could multiply by 16, but there's a smaller number that 8 and 4 both go into, and that is 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1, 8 divided by 4 is 2, so that's the perfect thing to pick. When we distribute that 8, we end up with 40 over 8x equals 24 over 4y minus 72. But maybe you're genius enough that in your head you already simplified those fractions and you realized it was 5x equals 6y minus 72. Like Lloyd, you moved that 6y over and you had 5x minus 6y equals negative 72. Okay, Lloyd, I'm going to give you 2 points if you can tell me the A, B, and C.
A is 5, B is negative 6, and C is negative 72.
Okay, I was really hoping you were going to make a sign here and you didn't. So you can have 2 points. My own bad. Anticipating the worst from you. Okay, that last one was a doozy. Again, are we doing this in discrete right now? No. But the last thing I need is for D to go take the ACT or some other useful test that he needs to be successful in life. And he's forgotten normal math skills because he's off in discrete land doing discrete things. Okay, now for the notes today, which should have been on the podium, but clearly, when you're hot, you're not, you're not. You've not heard this? I'm not on it today. That's what I should have said. You never heard if you're hot, you're not, you're not? Okay, so today we're going to do inequalities. Did I not give you one of these? I did. Okay, we need to not lose hair. We need to remember to flip the inequality sign when we blank or blank by a blank number. When we what? Multiply, and I'm going to do the asterisk because I fancy. Multiply or divide by a what? By a negative. Who said that? And Craig, you can have your point. Tyler, I know your voice. It was not your voice. You didn't get this? That's what I was asking. It's up here on my... That's what I thought I counted wrong at some point. See, I gave Hunter drew your paper, and then Hunter had too many papers. Counting. The worst. I know. It's the easy math that gets me. Okay, so today our life is a little more complicated because, yes, we do have to solve this equation just like we would if it was an equal to sign. But then we also have to graph it on the number line. So that's the new step. That's why your learning target not only says the word inequalities, which is different, but it also says solve and graph. Okay, so you're going to have to help me completely solve it in order to get your points. Does anyone want to volunteer, or is this mine? Okay, Eric, let's have it. Add 1 to both sides. Okay, now what? I have 6x is greater than. Okay, and now what? Okay. Okay, so I have x is greater than 7, and you can have a point for that. I'm not really picky with your number lines. I'm going to put 7 in the middle just because I can. I normally get lazy with my number lines. It's probably good they drew in these because I would just put 7. That's the only number that would be on my number line, which is not good skills. Ma'am. What is my freaking problem? Okay, so we end up with x is greater than 7. And this is the part that most people don't remember. I put a circle at 7. Do I fill it in or not?
Yes, no.
Yes, no? Yes, no?
Open. It's not equal to.
And I finally heard the words I wanted in the table so you can have the point. It's not greater than or equal to. So therefore, we're not going to shade in that bubble we drew on the 7 because it's not equal to. If I had that equal to, like our next problem is, then I would shade in the whole circle. Yes, you get counted off in life if you shade incorrectly. Since it is greater than, we actually end up shading to the right. And I'm going to do my cute little grading. Don't care how you shade it in. I like to shade in the arrow too to imply it keeps on going. If you have forgotten how to shade, meaning you've forgotten when is greater than to the right or is greater than to the left, my hint to you is that less than starts with what letter? L. And so does the word left. So less than you shade to the left, greater than you shade to the right. Just a gentle, friendly reminder. Okay, are there any questions on number 1? Can I slow down some? Is that what's on said? It's not often y'all ask me to slow down. Okay. All right, number 2. Any volunteers for number 2?
Sure.
Yes, Lloyd.
Multiply by 3.
He's trying to make our life complicated. Let's not multiply by 3 first. What should we do first?
Subtract 6.
Let's subtract that 6 first.
Why?
Because I have 8 is greater than or equal to 2/3 y. That's going to make our life easy. You're trying to do too much math today. Easiest thing to do is subtract 6 first. Okay, and now what do I multiply by?
3.
Oh my goodness, someone is breaking my heart right now. What should I multiply by? I just talked to you, one of you yesterday. Yes.
3/2.
Which is 3/2. Thank you.
I definitely said that.
Yeah, he kind of said that forever ago, but no one was listening to him,
You know what?
which is hilarious. Okay, so I should end up with y, and you can get the point. No.
Hang on, I gotta catch
You
up.
should get 12.
Is your name Taylor? No, let Taylor talk.
Wells.
You just gave Taylor a free point right there. Smooth move. Okay, Taylor, you can have your point. Oh, and then now, so I would love help grading. I would love help shading. So I'm going to put 12 here. I'm going to go up. I'm going to go down. Again, when you start making your own, if you get real lazy and just put the one number you need on it, I don't really care.
You always put the answer number like
I try to, yeah. Do you have to? No. Okay, I get to shade it in because it's a greater than or equal to. But now I'm confused.
Go to the left.
And he says go to the left. But I thought a greater than went to the right.
But it's the other way around.
It is the other way around. So I don't know if y'all know this. Maybe you need me to remind you. So you and I like to see the letter, the variable on the right, the left, Then we like to see a sign, and then we like to receive the number 12. I mean, that's how we got our last one. It was x greater than 7. So in this problem, we need y, some sort of inequality, and then 12. So technically, we're reading this green line backwards. We're reading it from right to left. So if we read it from right to left, it actually says y is less than or equal to 12. And so we didn't multiply or divide by negative. We were just mad because when it was in this form, the variable wasn't on the left. We got to get that variable on the left. So all I'm going to do is I'm reading it from right to left. So I see the y because I want it over here. I see the 12. I put it over here. And when I'm reading this backwards, if you were in like Alice in Wonderland, Keyshawn, I'm trying to, baby, but you're not even listening, and you're asking the question I'm trying to answer. Yes. You're asking him why I flipped the variable, right? Yeah. And I'm up here pouring my best heart out as to why I flipped that sign. Or why. No. Okay. Do you agree this answer isn't in the form our last answer was? The last answer was letter something number. Yeah. And we need letter something number. So we're worried about the something. When you read this backwards, like seriously, if you read my name, Compton, if you read my name backwards, would it not be Notpmoc? Yeah. Yes? Can you read my name backwards, the letters backwards? No. If you read this backwards, is it not y is less than or equal to 12? Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess technically if you read it fully backwards, it would be y is less than or equal to 21.
Is it okay if we just leave it like that?
If you understand that already, then yeah. But if you're with me and him, we're like, we need it to, it says less than, now I know to shade to the left, then he needs to think like me and shade differently. Okay.
So the variable always
needs to be on the left when we're trying, and the only reason why, I know we're not picking other spots on the left, the only reason why we're picking now is because we're trying to make this number line, and it gets confusing if the variable's not on the left. We're trying to shade our graph. Okay, so I swear I know that one was deep. I swear we'll practice more and eventually it'll come with life. Number 3, I'm looking for some help with number 3. Oh, table 1 and 4 have been so quiet. Table 6, out of nowhere, yes.
You move the 2 over.
Okay.
19.
Okay.
And then negative 7x. And then when you divide the negative 21 by the negative 7.
Okay.
The sign's flipped.
Okay, so here's the important part. Everyone gets negative 21 divided by negative 7 is positive 3. But since we divided by a negative, like Hunter said, we have to flip the sign. So my answer is actually x is greater than 3. So over here on my number line, I put in 3. I put in some other numbers. And since it's greater than 3, I shade to the right. And I don't get to fill in the bubble, because it wasn't greater than or equal to. Okay, are there any questions about that? Then we get to the everyone's favorite, because here comes the fraction. Number 4. The first thing we need to do is what? Let's add 5 to both sides. You want to finish it out? Hunter, if you didn't give yourself a point, you should have. Okay, Eric, you want to finish it out? Weren't you the one talking?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now what?
I just do it like multiply by 3 and divide by itself. So 1 is negative 1. So it'll be like it's like greater than.
Sign's flipped.
Yes, it's going to flip the sign.
That's what he's trying to say.
And it's going to be m is greater than or equal to what number at the end?
24.
Yeah, that's completely going to be it. I'm going to make our life a little easier, though. You were trying to do 2 more steps. I'm only going to do it 1 more step. How about if I multiply both sides by negative 3? I'm going to get the negative 24. I'm going to have just an m because the negatives and the 3's are going to cancel out. But then you're right. We do flip that side. Now, if you wanted to do this one differently, you do not have to be my twin. Eric said, hey, let's multiply by 3. We'll have negative m is less than or equal to 24. Then he multiplied by -1 and got m is greater than or equal to -24. You do not have to be much when there are multiple ways to get that same answer. Okay, -24, -23, -22, -21, 25, -26, -27, 24. I fill it in. I shade to the right. And you can't see anything I'm doing. Awesome. Okay, are there any questions about this problem? And sadly, we're getting to number 5, which I really wish Table 5 would volunteer for. I really wish they'll volunteer for that because we already have an issue because M is on the right. Yes, dear?
Multiply the problem?
Yes.
Subtract that one.
Okay, perfect. So I have -16 is less than or equal to 4m. Now what? If only just another. Now what? Okay, so if we divide by 4, we'll have -4 is less than or equal to m. And no, you didn't flip the sign because you didn't multiply or divide by a negative. However, I'm mad. Why am I mad at this? The m's on the right. We need that variable on the left. So this is the part that he's not liking. We need to read it backwards. I know it's an m. I know it's a -4. But if we read this sign backwards, it would be greater than or equal to. I don't know if that helps you any maybe or not. I know I'm tired of graphing the negatives once in a while. Craig, I had a point. Him helping me with that. Are you still mad at this?
No, he said he got it.
Okay. I'm afraid he's going to go sign flipping happy and just flip all the signs all the time. That's foresee the awful future.
You flip the negative without the inequality too? Like, if you get like a negative answer, you flip it to
No, I only flip it if I multiply or divide by negative or if I'm trying to read jump backwards. So if the variable's on the right.
Alright.
But you pray I leave the variable on the left and you never have to worry about it. Flip it to the back, please. Flip it to the back, please. And this is where our life starts getting complicated because I got to distribute and stuff. Looking for a volunteer. Again, table 1 and 4, they'd be so quiet. They'd be so quiet. Oh, are you? Yes, table 1. Okay, if we distribute that -7, we have -21 is greater than or equal to -7a minus 14. Now what? Add 14 to both sides. We'll have -7 is greater than or equal to -7a. Now what? If we divide by -7, what is our final answer?
1.
I guess there's a 1. I guess there's an a. What's in between?
A is greater than 1.
Yes, ma'am, because we flipped it. And then I'm super annoying Keyshawn because we flipped it because we multiplied or divided by a negative. And darn, we're reading backwards too. So we're reading backwards. It really is a greater than or equal to 1. So if I were him, I'd put a star next to number 6 because that's the one that's going to annoy him the most. So bless it. We had to flip the sign because we multiplied or divided by a negative. And super bless it. It was backwards, so we flipped it anyway. Now, Lloyd can read this way and graph it this way. He doesn't have to write this step by step. If that's you and you were going to shade correctly anyway, good for you. You don't have to. But if I don't do it, I don't shade right. And then my whole life is messed up. Okay, it's greater than or equal to, so I shade in the 1. It's greater than, so I shade to the right.
I'm confused.
Why? What part? Say words.
You changed it to 1 greater than or equal to a. You flipped it. Then
Well, I flipped it once. Here's the first flip because I divided by a negative. And then I flipped it again because I was reading it backwards. because I needed that variable on the left.
As soon as we divided the -7, I just went ahead and wrote A greater than equal to
That's fine.
1.
You know I make life complicated because I'm a math teacher and I show all my work.
But like I had to shade left, alright.
Great, you had greater than or equal to 1,
Yeah.
and you shaded to the left and not right, even though it was greater than or equal to?
No, the arrow's pointing to the left.
Did you go from here and just magically in your brain, even though A was on the right, for your final step, you wrote A on the left?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I still shaded
Yeah,
it
you
wrong.
just forgot.
Okay.
Look, no, you just forgot where you switched over to the download files.
Deep thoughts.
Switch over.
Just put a star by it. That's when you need to reconsider with your life. Okay, I swear we've not got minute any left, and then we get to do something fun to get us ready for tomorrow. Okay. No, I said we don't have that many left. Lord, we don't have that many left. We're flying, people. We're flying. Huh? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 left. Oh. We've been flying, Tyler. What are you talking about? Literally flying. Nyla, did you get your point for helping me? You need your point for helping me. Okay, again, table 4. Oh, so quiet. Someone want to help me with number 7? I'm going to go over here to table 4. Thank you. Let's do this.
Alright, so this is slide down so that you get -6x minus 9 is greater than or equal to.
I knew you were the perfect person for this job because you realized you should combine like terms first. Not a lot in the room always realize that. Now what?
And then you add 9 to both sides.
Okay, we add 9 to both sides. We have -6x is greater than or equal to
-3.
-3. We divide by -6. Now what happens? What is my answer?
X is less than or equal to 0.5.
You know I'm a math teacher. What am I going to put? Uh-huh. Okay, so I don't know if this makes Keyshawn sad or happy, but we've divided by a negative so we get to flip the sign.
Oh, yeah.
But nothing's going weird with the variables. It was on the left to begin with, so life worked out great. It was on the left to begin with, so life worked out great. So we get x is less than or equal to 1/2, which is super annoying. So to be honest, I'm going to be super lazy on this one. Just put the 1/2, fill in the circle, shade to the left. If you want to add in more stuff, you can. Miss Cobden is somewhat lazy. Somewhat. Is everyone good on number 7? Okay, well, Hunter's right. There are only 3 left now. Okay, and he's trying to volunteer for number 8. So go ahead. Are you not trying to volunteer? Okay.
I am trying.
Okay, cool. Good. Let's do this.
You need to distribute
Okay.
so -10x plus 35.
Minus 2x plus 1. Okay, now what?
So you just add your -10 and -2, which is 12x. And then plus 36.
I knew you were the person for this job. Next.
Then you move 36 to the left. So I think it's 24. Then you divide by 12.
Okay, now what?
You flip the sign. So it'll be x is
Well, 24 divided by -24
or 2.
is 2, and then you flip the sign because you would divide it by negative.
2 is greater than x. Or x is less than 2.
But then you wanted to read it from left to right, so you wrote it x is less than 2, which is the part that is annoying the mess out of 2 of us in the room. So again, to try to answer why I'm flipping the sign twice, I flipped it once because Hunter told me I'm dividing by a negative. That's why that first flip happened. And then the reason I flipped it twice is because of the issue with the variable being on the right. I need the variable on the left, so really I'm just rewriting it. I'm reading it backwards. Okay, and like I said, the longer we go in the day, the lazier I get. So I'm just going to put 2, an open circle, and shade to the left. Ma'am. Oh, perfect. Are there any questions on number 8? It was a doozy like number 6. so excited. Number 9, Madeline.
Subtract 7 from both.
Okay, if we subtract 7 from both sides, we have 3 is less than n divided by negative 3. Now what?
Multiply by negative 3.
If we multiply by negative 3 on both sides, we have,
Negative 9 is plus there.
and then she's made her mistake, hasn't she? I'm going to give her her point because she did do all the math. But didn't we multiply both sides by negative? So wasn't I supposed to flip the sign? Did she flip the sign? Oh my gosh, let me go add some parentheses for you, baby. Parenthesis.
That's my fair.
Is that prettier? It does look prettier. I can't even lie. So those two negative 3's canceled out. Negative 3 times positive 3 was negative 9. But since she multiplied by a negative, we had to flip that sign. And then to just, I knew when I made this, I knew it was going to be Keyshawn that I annoyed. And then just to really annoy him, when we read it backwards, it's going to be n is less than negative 9.
This is really tripping me out.
Again, I flipped it once because I multiplied by a negative. And then I have an issue here. Variables on the right. That's not good, right? We can't read it like that, so I end up flipping it again.
I got it.
Number 10's not going to have that issue. Why is number 10 not going to have that issue?
Because there's no negative that you need to put by in the.
She's overthinking life. Why is number 10 not going to have that issue?
Oh, wait.
Because about what?
Well, the X is on the left side.
The X is on the left to begin with. We're not going to have this double flip thing if the X is on the left to begin with. I knew number 9 was a problem because N was on the right. Okay, so I don't know if you added a point or not, Madeline. You're supposed to. Number 10, and then you get to do the fun things. Yes, ma'am.
First you add 4 to the
Okay. So I have 2/5 X is greater than negative 14.
and then you multiply.
Okay, if I multiply both sides by that reciprocal, I end up with X is greater than what?
35. Like negative 35. Sorry.
Okay, so we were here and we multiplied both sides by the reciprocal. Is everyone good with that? Okay, and then she's a genius. But again, if fractions are not your friends, we talked about how to type in fractions in the calculator. You could always take the fancy calculator. Say negative 14. Sorry, you scream. Negative 14. Then if you press alpha y equals, you can type in a calculator and put in clear. I got to do that again. Negative 14 and then times alpha y equals. Put in my fraction, which is 5/2. And lo and behold, the calculator is doing the math for me, and I get negative 35. Okay, so I put my circle at negative 35, and I shade to the right, and life looks good. Anyone have any issues with this? Okay, that is it for the notes, and you can put those away. And to be honest, you could really put up all the rest of your stuff, because what's going to happen next requires your attention. It's 1:04. You don't leave until 1:14. Perfect. 10 minutes is really all you need to get this started.